You know, the one thing that actually always works on any boat is the captain. So I know so many of you in the comments had said, whatever you do, don't buy that boat. So that was the common theme across all the comments in the last video in regards to the Nautor Swan Pilothouse. But a bit conflicted. You know, it's on the other side of the world. I don't have any friends out there, don't speak the language. So a lot of drawbacks, as many of you mentioned in the comments. And I really appreciate your insight. But one thing I didn't share is I've done so many refits over the course of my life. I've been living on my sailboat since I was 24 and never really lived on land since. So that, along with a 15-year voyage and then working up to be a captain with an offshore yacht master and an ocean yacht master certificate, I've been lucky enough to work on the biggest yachts in the world, sailing yachts. So I do have some experience, and you know, I am definitely getting older, but I can put a lot of that experience to use. But I have done a ton of refits. So everything from recoring decks, osmosis, re-rigging numerous boats, big and small, virtually everything, electrical, plumbing. I do have a lot of experience going forward. It's just, do I want to do all that again? So I've refit all my boats. The boats I've bought in the past, all European boats, by the way, I've bought inexpensively and then completely refitted, so to make them really nice boats. And it worked out really well, because when I went traveling on those boats, I really had very, very little in the way of problems. While other people were stuck in port ordering parts from around the world, I just kept on going. So for the 15-year trip on my ML, I bought that boat really cheap, and she was in need of a lot of love, which I gave to her, and rebuilt every system on that boat. And when traveling for 15 years, had virtually no problems with that boat, except for a water maker. And just, you know, normal maintenance across the engine and systems on the boat, but never really stuck in port due to mechanical or any type of boat issue. So I had seen cruisers, you know, different waves of cruisers come and go throughout different areas, and many people had been waylaid in port and missing windows. So that's a big problem when you're fixing your boat, and say you're in Vanuatu and you want to go down to New Zealand, and all of a sudden you're trying to get parts in Vanuatu and you're looking for a weather window to get down to New Zealand, which is always a challenge. I've done that trip 16 times in and out of New Zealand, from Vanuatu, from Fiji, from Tonga, from Tahiti. I went from New Zealand through the Southern Ocean to Tahiti. If you're stuck in port during these times when you have really good weather windows, that's a real drawback. I hate indecision, so I'm going to buy that boat. And now is when the real challenge begins, because it's all the logistics on how to make that happen, and giving up my life here for a period of time, and eventually it's going to be full-time when I move on to that boat completely and start cruising again. So I'm looking forward to that, but a lot of hurdles in front of me, not the least of which is the visa situation in Europe. So yeah, I'm packing all the stuff out of this boat. This boat is now sold, and so I'm a homeless free man, and you get to watch this circus unfold, so hopefully it's enjoyable. I know a lot of you think I'm out of my mind. I must be crazy. Could be partially true, but I think I'll have a very nice boat in northern Germany, but the work scenario out there is going to be a challenge due to the Schengen visa regulations. I only get 90 days out of 180, so that really makes it complicated, because I'd rather just dive into a project and knock it out. So first things to do will be the bottom. Probably bring it down to gel coat, then assess it as far as osmosis, what I need to do, and then do a barrier coat, see how far I have to go into that process. Then it's going to take some electrical work, some plumbing work, So new filters, probably some new, all new plumbing lines, fresh water, clean out the tanks, clean out the diesel tanks, do a full service on the engine. But then I was thinking about this, and it gets sticky because then I have to leave, and then I have to leave for a relatively long time. So yes, I must be crazy. Great visibility. So it seems you can see the outline of the keel where it mates to the hull structure. Shaft, I understand, is there's a bend in the shaft, so that definitely needs to be either replaced. Yeah, would be replaced. The rudder bearings seem all right. I tried to check those. They seem all right. The structure itself, there's some osmosis in the hull, not much. And the actual construction, the hull itself is dry, it's not wet, and is very, very solidly built, as most all Swans are. So the hull and structure of the boat is solid. However, everything else on the boat is not in good shape. The engine could be brought back to life. The transmission looks very corroded. Teak decks need to be sorted out, either torn off or fully serviced. So you'd have to recaulk everything and resand the entire deck and rebung it. That's a major job. So, and then checking the keel bolts. There we go, a Swan 39 Pilothouse. Don't see many of those. We only made a few of these boats. And this is the only one ever made that's a sloop rig. So I was thinking that could be a good reason to save this boat. So if you've lasted this long, I want to thank you very much.